Is at the editor's desk for us this evening. I'm Lori Madden.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins, New York.
Good evening, 32 degrees at 7 o'clock. I'm Donna Vaughn, and here's what's happening. The U.S. and its allies unleashing swift and severe sanctions on Russia today after its invasion of Ukraine. Among the targets, Russia's state-owned banks with $1 trillion in assets. Ukrainian civilians now fleeing the war zone with Russian strikes reported on major cities, including the capital Kiev, and casualties. Well, the price of gas is already climbing here in the U.S. as a result of the Russian invasion, though the stock market held steady today. LGBTQ plus advocates rallying outside City Hall in opposition to 3 of Mayor Adams' appointees, whom they call homophobic. And a comeback for Broadway, which is seeing some of its biggest crowds of the season. Well, Rangers hosting the Caps tonight, Devils at Pittsburgh, both games just getting underway. Also tonight, the Nets home to the Celtics. And the Islanders have a late skate on the West Coast tonight at San Jose. AccuWeather says messy weather for the tri-states this evening, a slushy, wintry mix. A winter weather advisory taking effect at 10 o'clock. Winds new time 7:01. Traffic and transit. Here is Greg Rice.
Now we go to the Bronx. We go slow on the southbound side of Muskegon, coming down to the Mosholu, wreck in the left lane. A mess all the way back to the Westchester line. If you're not in a truck, you're on the southbound Bronx or a Hutch through that stretch instead. But you got to get there. And the southbound Hutch still messy right out of Connecticut, coming down past North Street and Westchester Avenue because of an earlier wreck. City-bound side of the George Washington Bridge, you're looking at least 30 to 40 on the upper, 20 to 30 on the lower, and we're getting word of a crash on the eastbound Cross Bronx near Webster Avenue, exacerbating those backups. Lincoln Tunnel right now, 30 on the inbound ride. Outbound side, we're looking at least 15 minutes. Holland Tunnel getting into the city down to 15 minutes. Outbound's about 15 too, but the Staten Island-bound Gospel is not better yet. Loaded right out of Jersey all the way onto the eastbound Staten Island Expressway. Traffic is sponsored by Exergen Thermometers. Accuracy matters. Exergen agrees with a just-released study by the FDA confirming that non-contact thermometers are not accurate and that their labels contain false information. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen Thermometers, backed by over 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exergen.com. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Wins.
Ukraine is defending itself and will not give up its freedom. That was a tweet today from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who's ordered a full military mobilization in response to the Russian invasion. Fierce fighting has been reported for a second night in a row as the Kremlin unleashes airstrikes on Ukrainian cities and military bases. Ukraine's health minister has reported dozens dead and wounded, and this may just be the start. The U.S. and its allies have announced stepped-up sanctions against Russia, targeting that nation's state-owned banks with $1 trillion in assets, along with their most powerful citizens and industries. President Biden saying the aggression cannot go unanswered.
27 members of the European Union, including France, Germany, Italy, as well as the United Kingdom, Canada, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and many others, to amplify the joint impact of our response.
The sanctions will also cut off more than half of Russia's imports. President Biden saying that Putin chose this war, and now, quote, he and his country will bear the consequences. He also accused Putin of trying to reestablish the old Soviet Union. Now, so far, Putin appears to be ignoring worldwide condemnation and the growing sanctions as he mention of his country's nuclear arsenal. Civilians have been racing to flee the war zones that have been breaking out across Ukraine. This woman was about to claim that arrived in Poland. Yes, I'm very excited. I am so hopeful. I believe in humanity. I believe in good in people, and that situation still can change. That West and that West Europe and America. Now, President Biden has said the U.S. military will not put boots on the ground in Ukraine, but he has deployed more American troops to Germany to back up NATO forces. There were protests around the world today in a show of support for Ukraine, even in Russia, where correspondent Mary Lushina is in Moscow.
I think it was a dark day for Russians because they woke up with news that Russian military is attacking their neighbor in a country that they have a lot of cultural ties with. And I think the most frequent word I've seen today and heard today from Russians is shame. A lot of people are very ashamed, and there are multiple open letters and campaigns that seek to stop this war.
Now, more than 1,400 Russian anti-war protesters were arrested in Moscow and St. Petersburg, even after warnings they would be prosecuted. One pro-Ukraine rally was held here in Midtown today, and many of the people there are very concerned about loved ones in the war zone.
For Helene Sabadas, the Russian invasion is personal. She has family in eastern Ukraine, and just one day ago, several of her cousins enlisted in the Ukrainian army to fight Putin. She said being there is terrifying.
They're frightened, especially the mother and children. They're frightened. They're moving to Poland right now to escape. The men, not so much frightened. They're just ready to fight.
She joined hundreds of others walking in protest to the UN on First Avenue. Many of them waved Ukrainian flags. Others wrapped the flag around themselves. Protester Maxim Orzinski says the invasion is heartbreaking.
We're just devastated with the destruction that Putin has caused and inflicted on a peaceful nation.
Daryl Diori at 1010 Wins in Midtown.
Well, a winter weather advisory in effect for the Tri-States, taking effect actually at 10 tonight. AccuWeather calling for a wintry mix of snow, sleet, and rain for the city and coastal suburbs overnight. It'll leave a slushy coating to an inch on the ground before it changes over to all rain by about daybreak. Temperatures will rise slightly overnight to about 34 in Midtown. Rain in the morning tomorrow, ending by early afternoon, but it could be heavy enough to cause street flooding. We expect a high of 38 on Friday. Right now it is 32 degrees, cloudy skies. Should go up to 34 overnight. Well, although it seems too late for diplomacy to end the Russian aggression in Ukraine, some are holding out hope, including Pope Francis.
The Vatican Secretary of State released a statement on Ukraine, declaring that the tragic scenarios that everyone feared are becoming reality. The Vatican has been loath to call out Russia by name for fear of antagonizing the Russian Orthodox Church, a key focus of Pope Francis's ecumenical efforts. The statement added that there is still room for negotiation and space for the exercise of wisdom to spare the world from the folly and horrors of war. In an appeal at the end of his weekly general audience, Pope Francis said he was pained and alarmed by developments in Ukraine, which he said discredited international law. I'm Walter Ratliff.
Now, the war in Ukraine is having an impact on air travel in Eastern Europe, where the FAA has extended a no-fly zone.
By issuing 3 new notice-to-air missions, or NOTAMs, the FAA is prohibiting all U.S. airlines and American pilots from flying over any part of Ukraine, Belarus, and the neighboring western region of Russia. European aviation regulators continue to warn Moscow's ongoing air campaign poses high risks to civilian flights.
Correspondent Errol Barnett with that report. Although the crisis in Ukraine is far from here, Americans will be feeling it in the wallet, especially in the short term.
You've probably noticed gas prices have already jumped after word of Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Diesel is probably impacted more than gasoline. Russia produces a lot of diesel. Diesel is a product that is in tight supply and is growing faster in the rest of the world.
Industry analyst Tom Closa notes that diesel is used for most shipping nationwide. He predicts gas prices will soon go over $4 a gallon, even higher in California.
Correspondent Jim Kasula reporting gas prices seen as high as $3.79 a gallon at stations in Jersey City and Astoria. WINS News Time 7:08. Countless foreign nationals are now desperately trying to flee the Russian invasion of Ukraine. They include several soccer players from Brazil who say they're trapped.
A group of players from 2 Ukrainian teams, Shakhtar Donetsk and Dynamo Kiev, posted a video together with their families. The group said the borders were closed and fuel supplies had run out. Shakhtar defender Marlon Santos wrote on Instagram that they're desperate to leave and are waiting for word from their country's government. The Ukrainian league was suspended indefinitely after martial law was declared in Ukraine. Ukrainian clubs have long recruited Brazilian players to boost their performance on the field and to make a profit in the transfer market. I'm Karen Chema.
That Instagram video made by the stranded players was reposted by Brazilian soccer star Neymar, who added that he's praying for his countrymen in Ukraine. WINS News Time 7:09, traffic and AccuWeather next.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month. But you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Sponsored by Age of Learning.
My heart was racing just I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to waste. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Do you have bad credit but need a new car? Call Credit Solutions, a division of Hudson Hyundai. It's easy to apply right over the phone. Call 800-951-4221. Their President's Day sale is going on all month long. Tier 1 customers can drive a new Hyundai with just $68 down. Like a Hyundai Tucson, Santa Fe, Kona, or Palisade. Only $68 down. Even the all-new fully electric Hyundai Ioniq 5. Just $68 down. Drive a new car home today. Call 800-951-4221. That's 800-951-4221. And all new Hyundais come with Hyundai Assurance and America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Call Credit Solutions for a pre-approval today during their President's Day sale. 800-951-4221. That's 800-951-4221 or HudsonHyundai.com. Payments will vary. Credit severity affects approval. See dealer for details.
News time 7:11. Let's get traffic and transit now. Here is Greg Wright.
Tough ride out of Nassau County. Here's what we see on Long Island Big 3. We see a westbound crash on the Long Island Expressway getting over to Searingtown Road. You got at least one lane knocked out of service. The Northern State Parkway does better if you're not in the truck. And the Southern State Parkway, following those same rules, is also in pretty good shape. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Citybound side of the George, 45 up, 30 down as they clear a crash on the Cross Bronx. Out of town, the southbound Deegan, you got a sidestep trouble in the form of a left lane wreck near the Mosholu. Other than that, everything's starting to get better. Lincoln's about 15 minutes in, 10 out. Holland, an extra 10 from the Skyway, better from the North. Outbound Holland got better. Jersey-bound Goethals is fine. Staten Island-bound Goethals still a bit slow right off of the turnpike getting into that area. The ride on the belt westbound in Brooklyn over at Bay Parkway, that's a crash, and it's all sorts of slow all the way back to Ocean Parkway. Traffic is sponsored by 7-Eleven. At 7-Eleven, mix and match any 3 pizza slices or select grill items for just $3. 3 for $3. You can also get a big gulp drink free, but 4 for $3 isn't as catchy. 7-Eleven offer expires 4/12/2022, plus tax where applicable at select stores. Visit stores for details. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Wins.
And now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. We get a live report now from meteorologist Brian Thompson.
And Donna, we've been watching 1010 Winds off the radar, but things still pretty quiet across the area right now. Maybe a stray flurry or a little bit of drizzle here or there, but temperatures hanging out right near the freezing mark right now. And as we get closer to, let's say, about 10 o'clock, we will see a wintry mix of that's going to go over to plain rain as we get closer to daybreak tomorrow. Before that happens, we may see a coating to perhaps an inch of snow and sleet, and perhaps some slick spots. North and west of the city, that's where we're most concerned about sleet and snow causing slippery travel through the night, where we could see 1 to 3 inches of accumulation. And then it'll be slow to rise above freezing tomorrow morning, so we could even have some pockets of freezing rain into the morning commute tomorrow. For the morning commute tomorrow in the city and near the coast, it will be pretty much rain. There could be some ponding on roadways with some downpours, but this all wraps up around lunchtime tomorrow. Highs will be in the mid to upper 30s. Could be some icy spots tomorrow night with a low of 22, and some sunshine for the weekend. High 34 Saturday and 44 on Sunday. 32 degrees right now. It is cloudy in Midtown. Will rise to 34 late tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station 1010 Winds.
Winds news time at 7:14. Just ahead, LGBTQ plus protesters outside City Hall today. We'll tell you why.
Buying your timeshare was exciting. Now, that feeling is long past. With mandate restrictions and the rest, travel these days is a huge pain, and you can't easily use your timeshare. Even worse, big, fat, ugly maintenance fee letters are showing up in your mailbox. You gotta pay that much, and you can't even get the vacation times you want, or maybe you can't go at all? What a waste. Timeshare Defense Attorneys is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and can help you get rid of your timeshare. Let Timeshare Defense Attorneys help you dump that overpriced, useless, money-wasting burden. Timeshare Defense Attorneys is helping thousands of families permanently cancel their timeshares and offer a 100% client satisfaction guarantee. Call Timeshare Defense Attorneys now for your free consultation. 888-742-2211. That's 888-742-2211. 888-742-2211.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.